Have you ever wanted to buy your first property but just felt so discouraged because you didn't know how to do it or where to start? Well, my friend here wants to buy his first property, and I'm going to show him how to do it in the easiest way possible with my step-by-step blueprint. This requires no experience or skill, and it all starts with this. Yes, I'm talking about money. You have to have your finances in check, and you also need a solid credit score. If you don't have these two things, then no bank on earth is going to loan you the money that you need to buy your first property. And if this is a problem for you, this is what I did when I first started. I had a really strict budget. I didn't rack up any high, Visa card or credit card debt. I tried to increase my savings every single month. And what I did with that money was I invested it into high savings accounts. That helped me accelerate my savings goals and get to my first property even faster. So if you're able to do these things and you accomplish getting your finances in check and you're able to get a good credit score, you got the basics covered, and now we'll be ready to move on to the fun stuff. Finding your niche. The beauty about real estate is that there's so many different ways to make money. But the thing is, you have to understand what you're getting yourself into. For example, the strategies are Airbnb, commercial, single-family homes, student rentals, pre-construction condos, wholesaling, flipping. The opportunities are endless, but you need to understand what you're getting yourself into, otherwise it could be a disaster. For example, Airbnb. Airbnb is very short-term. You have to find tenants every single week, every single month. It's a very rewarding strategy, but it's very hands-on. And are you ready for that? Compare that to renting to a single family, right? That's much more long-term. Get a family in, you have a long-term lease, you have the same tenant for years, but the profits might not be the same, right? Less headache, less profit. The point is that there's so many different strategies, and you need to understand what suits you best, right? What are you comfortable with? Are you ready to put time and effort in for higher rewards? Are you ready to take the risk? Or do you want something much more stable, much more long-term? So understanding your niche is incredibly important. Now that we picked our niche, now we have to talk about location. And this is critical. I'm going to repeat, location is critical. If you don't pick the right spot for your real estate investment, you are screwed. For example, imagine you're going for the Airbnb niche and you don't find a spot that has a lot of demand or short-term rental stay, like a touristy spot. If you pick a location that's not a touristy spot, what's going to happen? You're going to have an empty house. No money coming in your pocket, and you will go bankrupt. It's over. Another example is student rentals. Let's say you want to target students. If you find a place that's too far away from the school, no students are going to want to come and rent to you. So location is absolutely critical. It's make or break when it comes to a real estate investment. Some tips: look for areas that are growing. Look for immigration, look for infrastructure upgrades, look for city developments, read the news, look at the location that you're investing in, understand who the renters are in that market or the businesses that are in that market. Make sure that you're targeting the right audience. If you don't do that, again, it's a make or break situation. You will not have a good investment and you'll be in big trouble. So let's check in on our friend here. Let's see the progress. He's got all the foundations set. He's got the money. He's got the credit score. He understands his niche. He's got the perfect location. He's so close to the finish line. But guess what? There's one more critical step that you have to complete. You have to secure a loan. You got to work with a mortgage broker and the banks to get a pre-approval and show that you have the capability. He has all the money. He has all the credit scores. You have to now physically prove it to the bank and get a pre-approval letter. This is so critical. This tells you exactly how much you can afford and what type of house and the price range that you can go after. If you don't have this letter, you run a huge risk of putting an offer in place on a house that you can't afford. Once you get that, now you're ready to put an offer, and you need to build relationships with a local real estate agent. They're the people that can actually transact the deal. And again, real estate is not just about buying a house at the right price. Of course, price is really important, but it really is a people business. You have to have trustworthy people around you. You have to have that in place. You have to have experts that know what they're doing. They know the market. They know how to negotiate. Remember, an offer is a negotiation. Your goal is to get the best price possible. The seller wants to get the maximum price possible. You have to come in at a win-win, and it takes negotiation to do that. So now, hopefully you got an accepted offer at the right price. Now what do? You do absolutely nothing. Make sure you just sit back and relax and don't do anything against the terms and conditions of the deal. Don't give the seller any reason to back out and just sit tight. Wait for the closing date, swap the keys, and you now own a property. Now, if you want to learn how you go from one property to a $5 million portfolio, check out the video here where I explain how I did that.